tears out of my eyes. We're live. I'm Lynn Serrano.
Sheryl Isenhour.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. It's whatever. How are you, Sheryl?
It's hump day. No, I'm good.
We just had a little tender moment before the show that we can't talk about, but we don't ever really talk about the show so beforehand. So it's nice to always be here with you. And you picked this topic today, half full and half empty.
Yeah.
And
the reason I did that, it's your glass is either always half full or half empty. And it seems like, I interview a lot. So everybody seems to be half empty. I mean, nobody, I don't say nobody, let's say very few people have the half full glass anymore. Everything's negative, and there's a lot of stuff negative with everybody, so everybody's could be half empty. But you don't have to let it be that way. I mean, I've had 1 week in the past, we're going to use the word a real crappy week. But even though I probably felt half empty, I didn't want anybody else to have to deal, they didn't want to kick into their day.
Yeah. Well, I think you bring a good point that some people don't realize, and maybe their attitude is, I really don't want to do this interview, or I really don't want to go here. Hey, Bob, thanks for being here. And maybe their disposition of going like, oh man, I have to do this because I got to fill out my unemployment thing, or, I got to fill a quota or whatever. But to know that everywhere you go, you're going to bring your luggage, your negative Nancy bag or whatever it is. It's sad. The opportunities we miss not to just go into every situation with a positive of what's this going to be, and people forget, even in an interview, that may not be the interview for you, but who's to say that you go in that interview and that person that's interviewing saying, you may not be good for this position, but I think I know where there's a better position for you, or we might keep you, we might consider you for something else or whatever. But when you already have a preconceived attitude about something, you're screwing yourself over by all means.
Actually, I started to call this attitude suck. I tried to neaten it up a little bit, okay? But they do. People's attitudes are just
they need an adjustment.
Yeah, they really do it. A 2x4 seems like the best one I've come up with. I'm just negative people. Everybody has negative times. Okay, we all do.
Right.
When you encase the word into a negative person, and they're negative to everybody, they're always down. Believe me, the world is not perfect right now for anybody. If you're living in a perfect world right now, you're in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
But but I look at it. I was sitting there last night when I thought, okay, now what are you going to try to talk about anything particular? And I'm sitting there thinking, you go to the restaurant and you get a glass of wine. Okay, the glass is this high, and you get this much.
Sheryl likes wine.
But think about it. The glass is half empty, but it's full price. So is it actually a full glass of wine, even though it's half empty?
Now, Sheryl, you're acting a little negative about your wine, and so I think you're whining about your wine.
Believe me, tonight, I wish I were as big a drinker as most people think I was, but I let more wine go bad in the refrigerator than anybody I know of. We have here at local, we have this little bar down the street that a lot of times I'll go eat at because Jerry's out of town. And
So tonight will be one of those nights.
well, Wednesday night's half price wine night. So that's a half price for the glass, a half price for the bottle. Common sense.
Talk about half again.
Uh, well, I go ahead instead of getting a half a glass, I get the whole bottle. And I'll sit there and drink. One glass is my limit to drive on. That's just the way the world works. I don't care how big a glass or how small. That's the way I mellow myself out. Is one glass, but 2 glasses of wine. I'm not driving anything.
Right.
Okay, I'm a cheap. I would be a totally cheap drunk. I am a cheap day.
Oh,
Okay,
my kids will tell you how cheap I am. Just the splash, and I'm good.
and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And I really did try that glass of red wine a night thing was good for your heart. Well, I did good for the first 2 days. I made 2 nights on it. So I had I had one eating dinner on Wednesday. I did another glass on Thursday, and on
I'm gonna
Friday
start.
come up. So then something else come up, and by the time it was over with, the only way I could use the wine was to cook with it. It was just, I used to just get a bottle in case somebody's sitting beside me. And they want a glass of wine. There's some ladies that frequent there by themselves too. And you want a glass of wine, ask for a glass because it's a social thing for me more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Well, I think the reference is really good for people to realize that, you know, we have a choice. We can look at the good, we can look at the bad, and why not choose to look at the glass being half full
Mhm. It's
instead of
easy
half
to look at
empty?
half full as half empty. It's still half. You can even a half empty, if they would look, it wouldn't take but just a little bit to make it over half
Yeah,
empty.
right.
And so the thing about it is, people just need to search within themselves. This is my thing for today. They need to search within themselves and look for what's good going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a cousin several years younger than I am, and she's in stage 4 cancer at this point. Uh, but she's happy as a lark. She's putting forth. I mean, she's doing everything she can do to beat it. I'm sure she's down when she's by herself sometime, but when you see her, she's laughing, she's helping other people. And so her glass, even though it's actually half empty, literally, is well over half full. So I told Jerry the other day, he was a little down about something. I said, let's base it on Judy. Let's just base this on Judy. He said, basing it on that, I'm not bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. When we can look at what's going on in the world today, we have nothing to complain about. We have nothing to complain about. And I don't know why it takes to have to look at the things that are going around you to realize, wow, I have it good, you know?
Just get hung up in your pity party.
Right, right.
And
So,
that's kind of, I've never had liked that word, but
right,
that's what it is. And you start down the rabbit hole, and without a lifeline, sometimes, you'll keep sliding.
right, right. Well, I mean, the minute we're born to die, we have expiration dates. And so when you want to really get down to it, everything can be very negative if that's really you want to look at all that side of it. But just like I'm doing a cheap plug here, but I'm going to start a podcast called Lynn's BS, and it's all about the bright side of things and the bright side of people and what people bring to the table. And that's what I love is, people that are trying to continue to bring the bright side of the world and the bright side of the things. And we need that. We need to enjoy every moment we have here. We need to be and enjoy every moment. And like I said, I love having Bob Ward around because he brightens up my day every day when he says hello to me. And it's the moments that you have that sometimes you need to hold on to those to bring you through the things that you go through in life. And or you can take your trauma, and if you take your trauma and you carry that around as luggage, that doesn't get you anywheres either. So you can pick and choose your battles, you can pick and choose your thoughts. And we have many thoughts during the day, and it's one of those fleeing things that it's a struggle, and there's triggers all the time, but you've got to work on thinking about, does this do me any good or doesn't it? And it's a moment by moment thing. It's not easy. I mean, having clinical depression is not easy. And if you ask me, I'll tell you so. But I don't go there. I don't think about it. I don't talk about it. I don't give any credence to having depression because I don't want to be reminded every day about it. So that's why I don't go there with it. Does it depress me to have depression? Shit, yeah. I don't go there. I don't go there. So again, it's a mind over matter, and what you let matter, messes up with your mind. So that's just that's just the way of looking at it for me.
I'm gonna put a plug in for Bob. Okay,
Yes.
he he
I
did
don't know if I
he
don't
did.
know if go ahead.
If he's there, if he's not, it doesn't matter. He'll hear it later. I had him do one of his, I'm gonna call it artworks for
Yeah,
my
but should we even do this before? Well, I think we need to talk about this later, not now. I think we need to wait.
be soon. We're good.
Okay, as long as nobody's watching this podcast.
Nobody knows what it is. So,
Okay, okay.
uh, but I would suggest everybody would go to Bob's page. It's amazing what he does.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
my letter's behind me, but if I sit and find it,
My, yeah, mine's over here too.
here's what he did for me, and he
Yeah.
didn't even know me, really from Adam.
Yeah.
And
Mine's on the floor.
he's doing another one for me, and he's doing one as a gift for me, and
Yeah.
the gift. And I'm gonna tell you, this man's glass is half full,
Yeah.
probably 3 quarters, if not all the way full.
Yep. The guy he's an amazing guy. He served our country, and he serves a lot of people, and he makes a difference in the world.
He's definitely got a servant heart.
Yep, he does. And yet that man, he's 6'5", and he tries to intimidate everybody he can.
You gotta remember, my son's 6'5". I'm used
Yeah.
to looking up.
Well, he's been in the security business for years, and he likes to seem like he's an asshole, and he's far from it. I'm messing up his reputation right now, but he comes from authority, and yet I just know that I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I
Um,
love everybody that comes on here, but when you get to, and I don't know him personally, you do,
yeah, I do.
but once you get to know, just knowing him no more than I do, or knowing these other people, even just online, it's amazing how close you can get to a person. I mean, you and I have actually seen each other.
That's right. Yeah, and we'll pick up right when we leave, where we left off when we do see each other, and it's just an amazing thing, and it's wonderful because you just even when you get low, you pick each other up. You pick each other up, and that's what you need. And I'm glad to know. I can't imagine. You interview these people, and you I guarantee you try to pick them up, even though some people show the disrespect of their be laying down and on Zoom. And I mean, like, I can't believe the way people show up to your interview. Oh, he is listening to us. Bob,
You're amazing too, Bob.
yeah, you are amazing.
Believe me, there's some days that when you get done, you get done with some of these interviews, It's almost like it was a comedy. You
Yeah.
have to look at it that way. You're sitting there now. See this? Everything I am shows right here. More than one time have I literally dropped something that they could hear hit the floor. So
Just
I
so you could go laugh.
and get my eyes back in focus because I know I'm sitting there wanting the head wanting to go back and the eyes roll with it. But then you get you get some really good people, and that was if you can just get one good one after a couple of those, it's great. But it, some days you just don't get that, and as soon as we get off here, we have them stair stacked like pots. If you want to come up with something or book, pick something.
So can we call them like the employment hiring of the crypt or something?
Can we just call it Halloween 101? But no, seriously, you made a lot of good ones. But I love the ones that really get me the most, other than the ones that don't smoke pot except doing it online where they see you. But are the ones that wait till the very end of the interview and say, "Oh, by the way, I have a felony."
You're
Well,
like, I was just gonna hire you. Thank you for telling me.
and I'm working in the service industry is who I'm hiring for
Yeah.
groups in the service industry. You can't you can't hire them and take them into a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they just and I can't ask if you have a felony. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
there's just a lot of questions you can't answer, but somewhere they decide to offer that up right at the very end. And I'm thinking 30 minutes ago that would have been good.
Well, anyways, well, you made them feel comfortable enough to share with you.
And that's all you can do. I mean, you
Mhm.
know, if somebody starts the conversation, you can continue with it. But there's so much you can't ask that it's hard for the employer because
Yeah.
you get them in, and then all of a sudden this backlash of things of the questions you can't answer are there,
Right.
and or that you can't ask, and so and the list gets longer every day. Every time Congress decides to have a new little hoodoo up there, new thing going on, and it's like, well, we can't ask this either. So I guess I'm soon going to go on and say, and your name is John. Good job. See ya.
Oh boy. Well, Cheryl, as we close up the half full and half empty, is there anything you want to enclose?
The only
On the-
thing I can say is if you've got that half empty feeling, grab a bottle of Coke or wine or something, finish filling your glass up and get over it.
You know, it's funny you say that because my shirt says "Get over it" today.
You hear me say that more than not. Now you probably bought that shirt
Like,
because
no, it's so funny because I was talking to one of my friends on the phone and she goes, I don't like when people tell me get over it. And today I just grabbed something out of the closet and I'm like, really? And I have to do some intros and do some stuff for my new show. And I'm like, I've got a lot to do. And I was like, oh, and this is the shirt today. Get over it.
honestly, some days when I've kind of the glass is not thinner, it's almost nice to me for somebody to say, you know, just get over it. But you don't have to tell me in a high pitch deal, get over it. Just get over it. Because like I say, if you quit thinking about it in the negative form, you may can turn it around. And
Right.
and sometimes it just takes, and that's what I call your lifeline, is that person that will tell you to get over it.
Yeah. Well, Cheryl, you are one of my friends that tell me to get over it. And I'm wearing it today. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Bob, for being here and commenting. We appreciate and love you so much. And everyone else, thank you for popping in and we appreciate you. And Cheryl, as always, I love you. And yeah, you know, you get to pick and choose your thoughts. So why don't you make them the best thoughts ever and get a kick out of that instead of, you know, the only one that can really make you miserable is yourself. So consider your thoughts. And if they are really shitty thoughts, consider who put them there.
We're just quit thinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right. So have a good one. We love you.
love
Until
you.
next time. Bye.